Yeah, I can. I'll address a couple of things. First of all, Senator G, what wasn't said is the other night I was in an affair, and one of the waitresses there, who came from Romania, expressed her problems with her ability to renew her driver's license. She had a visa and a green card. She was in the process of obtaining citizenship, which took her over 4 years. The visa and green card ran out. When she went to the registry to renew, she lost her license. She was a taxpayer, she was a mother, and she was working. She could not drive until she got her citizenship. She was precluded, although she had a license previous to that. So the answer is it does take longer than 18 months to obtain your citizenship. A couple of other facts. Senator Raptakis asked about insurance. I'll give you some facts and figures from the Pew Charitable Trust. 49 states, with the exception of New Hampshire, require that all licensed drivers have insurance. New Hampshire doesn't. So with that, Rhode Island is no different. If you have a license, you need insurance. Okay?
That's not true.
Mr. Gorman mentioned that it was in violation of law. I don't know what he read, but once again, from Pew Charitable Trust, states consider, and I'll read the exact paragraph, states considering legislation requiring these immigrants access to driver's license in the context of the Federal Real ID Act of 2005 law that created national standards for state driver's license that can be used for federal identification. The law expressly authorizes states to provide licenses to unauthorized immigrants, but only if the licenses are distinct from the regular ones in a specific way. Additionally, we talk about numbers, once again, from a report, and I can print these out. There's just 5 different ones from Pew Charitable Trust. Total estimated number of unauthorized immigrants in the United States, 11,200,000. States with, and I'll read them down, states with the largest population: California, I'll round it off, 2.5 million, Colorado, 180,000, Connecticut, 130,000, District of Columbia, 20,000, Illinois, 475,000, Maryland, 250,000, Nevada, 210,000, New Mexico, 70,000, Utah, 100,000, Vermont, less than 5,000, and Washington, 230,000. The reason I read it is because we have a figure of about 20 to 25,000. That is less than 1% of the number of illegals that are in the United States that would apply for the licenses. Less than 1%. And I use that figure that comes from the District of Columbia. The next one will be Connecticut with 130. It's exactly 1%. So we're not talking a large number. And also in the report from Pew Charitable Trust, the process of, we heard it's going to cost 1 point some odd million. If you plan in advance, like the registry said they could handle, not everyone walks in that day one. They're done by either numbers, they're done by letters in the alphabet, so it doesn't put an overbearing tax on the registry. The registry was part of this bill that when it was redrafted under the Chafee administration, and then once again when we met with people from the governor's staff. A couple of other things. Fraud. Well, I don't know who read the bill, but the bill is very explicit. I would not want to apply for this driving permit. I would not want to apply for a driving permit or license, a limited one. One of the requirements, you have to go to the tax administrator and have a document stating that you pay taxes in the state of Rhode Island for the previous 2 years. Do any one of you have to do that when you renew your license or obtain it? The answer is no. 2, It also states that as soon as possible, you have to apply for legal status within this state or within this country. So there are other stopgaps in this bill that the normal person would not have to go through when applying for their license or renewal. And I'm not going to quote the scriptures like the two gentlemen did, but I believe it was Senator Nesselbush that mentioned that we are all God's children. Some have some privileges, some were born in different countries, some are rich, some are poor. But in this state that is trying to move forward and claims to be the leader and wants to be first, we wouldn't be first, we would be 13th or 14th. Connecticut passed it. So these people are here paying taxes. Why not give them the privilege to drive to work, to go to the market, and buy packages instead of carrying them, putting them on a bicycle, taking their children to school? We need at this time to move the bill. I've been before this panel, most members on this panel, over 3 years now, 4 years, and this bill has been held for further study. I am asking that upon conclusion, when you hear some of the tragedies and stories that are going to come forward, that a vote be taken and it not be held for further study. I think the time is now. Either Rhode Island's going to be a leader, either our economy is going to move, and we talk about a net effect. If you have, and I do not believe all 25,000 will apply, or 20,000, it is only the ones that have paid their taxes and can meet the standard in this bill. It would increase the number of licenses that the state of Rhode Island has. It would increase the registrations that we have. We all know that there are people out there driving with unregistered cars, and they are not all illegal. So let's not attribute it to just the illegals. Second part of it is, some of them, once they have this license, would have the ability to go out and purchase better vehicles, which brings more taxes in. And it does make the road safer, as Senator Archibald would say. So with that, I would open up, if anyone has any questions. I think the bill is more than a safety issue. I believe we've covered everything and made it clear that we are not giving something away without receiving something.
Senator Lombardi, do you have a question?
I do. Senator, thank you. One of the questions that I asked earlier, do you have any command of the fiscal note, this $1.8 million that Mr. Gorman referred to as the costs of the, and my specific question is that inclusive of what the registry is anticipating to receive in fees?
I believe it's not. In reading the Pew reports, there are some states that did not plan in advance like Rhode Island has planned. It did cost them money. Was there an offset? It didn't. It was not in the report. What the report did say is, since this is new in several of the states, it's inconclusive to prove whether or not there is a net